Today we're going to look at the exploded view and a parts drawing. So we want to make sure that all our parts are named correctly, even the subparts and the sub-assemblies, because that's going to affect the way it goes into the technical drawing. Next thing we need to do, we're going to go to the animation tab. Now, this can be a bit daunting at first, but I'll run you through step by step. So I'm going to drag this timeline down into that's meant to be curtains, so curtains, and then we are going to angle our work so it's a like a, what do you call that, perspective view of three-dimensional view. So the top corner, so it looks like that, it will be perfect. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to start pulling our project apart. So I'm going to move this to anywhere in the timeline, sorry. I'm going to go 2 seconds, doesn't matter where. And we're going to start pulling our project apart. So if I look at the components, and I'm going to expand all my components here, I'm going to go to the metal end here. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go up to move, and I can move that component outwards. You shouldn't need to go too far out, and then we click OK. Then I'm going to come up to the other metal frame and go move, and I'm going to move this one outwards. And click OK. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move all my timber slats. So click the top one, shift, hold it down, click the last one, move, and I'll grab that arrow and I'm going to move it upwards. At this point I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So if I look at my animation now, press play, you can see it kind of does that. Now, we're not using the animation for the sake of an animation. We want to get a technical drawing like this. So we are going to continue to blow the components apart. So these three pieces are the only pieces that haven't moved. We are going to move them manually. So I'm going to move this one out a little bit, and I'm going to move this one out this way a little bit. And I'm going to move this one downwards just a step. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at this one now. So that's the whole end frame. I'll go out further, and this one here, end frame, come out a little bit further too. And this timber slats, I'm going to move up a little bit further. Whoops, I just did the whole lot. So I'm going to zoom out again. So we just want them separate enough for the sake of this technical drawing. Now we've got that, I'm going to move these two end pieces. So holding shift down, I'm going to come out maybe just one step, and then these two pieces out or back 1 or 2 steps. It's a bit of artistic license here, so it looks good. And it looks pretty separate from this view. We may need to make some adjustments later, so I'm going to save that. It's not a separate file, it nests in with the rest of your design. If you want to, you can separate all these pieces too, but it's going to be quite time consuming to move them apart. The next step we're going to do is we're going to go File, New Drawing from Animation. We are going to make sure it's Storyboard 1, which is the only storyboard we've got. And all our settings look pretty good. A4 worked quite nicely for me last time, so we'll keep it to that. Once again, it takes a little while. Hopefully you definitely save it before you do this, because sometimes it can cause some errors when it's kind of processing this. So you can see my view is slightly different. This here is sitting a bit too low for my liking. It's overlapping this one, so that's okay. We'll just click OK to that, and we'll go back to our metal bench, and we're going to go to these timber slats, select them all, and we will move them upwards a little bit. I'm not sure why it does that. Make sure you save, and then we will go back to our untitled exploded parts view. I click the little symbol up here, you might have seen that, and it updates project. This one here, we can make it shaded, It does generally look quite good shaded, and we can start labeling these parts up. So to do that, it's a pretty automated process. We can go into this one here, table, and it's going to be automatic. I go all levels to this one, and we click here. Now the description, we don't have any information in, so I'm going to go to turn off. I didn't actually show you how to do that, but you can double click on here and turn these descriptors on or off. And it's got all the kind of leaders here, and it explains what we need. So you can see number 4, it says we have 9 timber slats, and they're all the same. It says it's still, because we haven't gone in and changed the material selection for it yet. And bottom rail, it's saying there's only 1 of them. It's just the way we modeled it. So it depends if you do a copy or a copy new at the stage where you copy these end frames. If you did a copy and a paste, paste new or a paste, you just did a paste, it will recognize that as the same part. If you did a paste new, it recognizes it as a different part. So a little bit complicated. I'm going to try and give you some more instructions during class to just do that normal paste, not paste new, because yours will end up looking a little bit different if you do that. You can move the leaders here, so it takes a bit of practice to get it right. You can zoom in and click the end of the arrowhead first and move that to where you want it. Good practice is not to have things overlapping at all, and also, if you possibly can, try and align the numbers up this way too. So there is a bit of a tool here if you hover over first and then go downwards, so you can see all those bubbles are kind of lined up down this side, and then we might come across swinging this one over this way, and we might do one there, and one there, and then these 2 here could sit kind of out to this direction. You can change the scale, you can change different bits and pieces. If you want to change anything in this though, you need to change the file name back in the part view or the assembly, and then update it, save it, and it will come across. I'll show you that really quickly. So I'll do a save at this point. So this one is what do we call this one? Parts drawing. So I've got that one saved, and back to my model, right back down to the design section. If I expand my feature tree here and allocate some materials here, so physical material, it'll take a minute to come up. We're going to look at wood. Oops, a single click. Should be a pine that you can select there. You have to click and drag from memory across. It's not ideal that it's put the same knot in each one. There is a way of changing that, so we can go back into the material properties here and advanced, and we can change the scale of the appearance of the material. Don't worry about doing this too much. I think you have to click on this and oops, I'll bring it up to the screen here, so you can change the rotation and the offset, and that'll change the appearance on the project as well. That's getting into a bit of depth that you probably don't need to know about, so I will help you in class if you need that help for that one. And the rest is still already, so you don't need to change any of the others. If I do a save with that one, and then go back to my parts drawing and update it, you should look at this one here. It says pine now, so that's how you adjust that. We could allocate the steel as well, so mild steel to all the other components, but the default material for Fusion is steel. I know yours might look a little bit different to this if you follow the process of the videos, but essentially we have got now assembly drawing. The last thing to do is to do individual drawings of the components. If you have got these two, but essentially this here will give you enough information to start the project in the Metalwork workshop.